Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Calling the Shots. I am Kiki.
And I'm Sarah.
And happy post-Halloween.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Happy late Halloween,
Halloween
you guys.
just happened.
Which we were talking about. We have come to the conclusion that Halloween is bigger than Halloween.
Yeah. Definitely when Halloween's not on the weekend, it's for sure bigger because it just makes sense.
Yes. If they don't line up,
yeah,
one's got to be bigger. It's Halloween.
For sure. 100%.
Personally, I don't have plans. We're recording this literally right before Halloween.
Yeah.
As of right now, don't have a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
But
I did do a Halloween costume. We're not going to dress up. Both of us work tomorrow, so
I thought you said we're not going to address it.
No, we're not going to dress up.
I was like,
tomorrow. Sorry.
I legit thought you were like, I did dress up. We're not going to address it. I was like, okay, moving on. Cool.
No, it was great. We went to a party this weekend. I threw together our costumes very last minute. My boyfriend's not super into dressing up. We hadn't dressed up. That didn't make sense. We haven't dressed up since we've been dating. For 4 years, I've been trying to get him to do a couple's costume with me.
It's a while.
And it has not happened until this year. And we were Boo and Sully from Monsters, Inc.
So cute.
And it was very simplistic Boo and Sully because it was a struggle to find things. And he was very particular and wanted to be able to reuse his shirt that he wore.
Such a guy thing.
So, anyways, but it was very cute and very fun, and he wore his costume for maybe 5 minutes.
I didn't know that.
To take a picture.
That's all you need.
Then just took it off, and I was like, okay, because he had little horns too, and they were normal size horns, but he has a big head. He's a big man. Yeah. And so it just looked so small on his head. It was so funny and so cute, and I was like, it's just hilarious because he gives very much Sully energy. Because he comes off very scary. He looks like a scary man, but
he just seems intimidating, but actually...
he's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
And Sully's sweet. And then I'm just there, just kitty.
Hello.
So, anyways, it was fun. But yeah, it was work. It took a lot. And I was throwing it together the day of.
First of all, good for you. I respect you actually doing it.
Yeah.
Especially when it ends up being more work than you thought.
Yeah.
And that's a simple costume. Think about the really intricate ones.
Yeah. My sister's super into Halloween and she's been planning for so long that I was like, I just don't have time to do that this year. In the past, I've had fun doing it, but this year, that's the last thing that's been on my mind is Halloween.
100%. No, I totally get that. Honestly, it's
because you worked, right?
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, so I worked this weekend. I honestly forgot it was Halloween, and then we went out the night before the game, and everyone was dressed up. I was like, oh my gosh.
And you were in Houston?
I was in Houston.
Okay, yeah.
It was hot in Houston, by the way.
Yeah.
Literally 90 degrees
so
and
warm
humid.
In the South.
I was like, hello? It is basically November.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was honestly, it was super fun. It was fun to see what people dressed up as.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I feel like my boyfriend, he always says oh, this would be a funny costume, but I feel like when it comes down to it, he's like, I don't want to actually have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
If you're working full time and it's the middle of seasons for us or the end for you, which is playoffs is a lot. So ain't nobody got time for that sometimes, and it's okay.
And I respect the people who make it happen because there are some people where it could be life or death, but they will make it happen.
Yep, that's my sister.
That is straight up. I'm
and her costumes turned out great, but
you'll have to show me a picture later.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, her kids. We'll
talk later. We'll talk. That's literally so fun. And there's a lot of good. I feel like something that's fun about sports is there's a lot of good sports ones.
Yeah.
Especially this year. And we'll talk about some of the athletes that dressed up because some of them were so fun.
So fun. We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to it. But it's always I've even been fictional characters.
I enjoy watching seeing other people's costumes and how creative people get, and even TikTok. My TikTok is swarmed with just people getting ready, makeup artists doing crazy things. I think that's so fun.
So fun.
And also wish I could do that But right? I don't have that kind of time or energy to put forth to that. So
maybe someday though.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the right friends,
yeah, it's
who
true.
could hook you up with like getting your hair done, makeup done, whatever, then I'd be like, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it is more fun to do it in, I feel like at least group costumes are more fun. Whether it's couples costumes, whether it's like, some of my favorite costumes have been like my girlfriends and I dressing out together.
Yeah.
It's like memorable and fun.
Yeah. My sister always involves our entire family. And when I say entire family, like my parents are dressing up, the grandparents are dressing up.
No way.
Like her dogs, like she puts them in costumes sometimes. Like it's a whole thing.
I respect her.
I'm like, man, maybe one day, but right now I just, that's not something I can do right now.
That's honestly so epic though. It must take so much planning. It is fun though when you're young to do something. It's like a family Halloween costume. Yeah. Like one year, my family and I were like the Scooby and the gang, and like my mom decorated our car, and like it was so fun. So it is fun, and it like makes for good memories. But I feel like that's got to ebb and flow at certain points in your life. Yeah. And right now it is not flowing.
Yeah, because college was so fun. I dressed up like every year.
Same.
I was like Zero from Holes, and my friend was Armpit.
Okay, I saw like some people dress up. Two things. One, I saw some people dress up like that, and my friend goes, "Oh my gosh, they're prison mates." I was like, hold on. No. Two,
we got mistaken for that when we did it.
I'm shocked. I thought it was so obvious.
And we had like water bottle, like we had the big jugs that said our names on them.
Also, speaking of that, this is so random. My friend was on a flight back to Salt Lake like 2 weeks ago, and she saw Zero from Holes.
Oh my gosh.
On the flight.
That's so fun.
Isn't that crazy? She's like, I made eye contact with him for like 3 seconds. He flew first class. I was like, that's sick.
Nice.
Anyways, that was a total side note. But some of my favorite costumes were also in college. I'm also, though, like, not going to college parties anymore.
This is true. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of past that. Honestly, like, because there's, like, college parties, and then there's, like, post-college parties. And even those, I'm more like give me, like, just me and my friends. I don't need to link up with a bunch of strangers on Halloween anymore.
Yeah.
It's a fun phase when you're in it.
Yeah. Like, I went to the Howl a few times, and it was a good time. But, like, I'm past that at this point.
We're old.
Driving all the way to like, Logan and back in the same night is, like...
That's crazy.
Yeah, because even when I did it, I was, like, exhausted.
Yeah.
And, like, my friend fell asleep, and I was like, Sarah, stay awake. Like,
that's terrifying.
Don't die. Yeah. And it's, like, 2 a.m.
And now you look back, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Also, we, like, bought tickets, and I realized, what if it snows? Like, my car cannot make it up there. And we were trying to figure that out. Oh. And it didn't snow, luckily.
Thank goodness.
Because I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. Because it's like not cheap.
No, it's like a huge event in Logan, Utah. And
at the university or Utah State University.
Yeah. There's not a lot going on up there, but they do got this going.
Yeah, they make it a big thing. So, anyways, so fun.
So fun.
Happy Halloween. Hope you had a fun one.
Yeah. We hope you guys had a fun one. And like we said, we're going to get to some of the Halloween costumes. But first, we got to update on a few things. So we talked last week about how the Aces won the WNBA championship. And they were like, Usher, come to our parade.
Yeah.
And they finally linked up with Usher.
Yeah, I don't think it was at the parade.
I don't think so either.
It looked like it was like some sort of like event, like concert or maybe... some sort of event. It looked like it was celebrating them, though, because, like, he, like, went up.
He went up and was like, I don't even know where it was, actually. Now I'm realizing.
Yeah, we should have done a little more research.
We should have done.
But, he was, like, performing for them, and they were, like, hyped. And we're not recording.
No, we are.
Oh, okay.
Sarah, I was like, I'm going to check if we're filming because we like stopped and started it. Anyways.
We had a couple technical
difficulties. But I don't know where, again, back to what we were saying though. Don't know where they were performing. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. And like, hey, they got to finally link up with him. So happy for them. Happy they manifested that.
Same.
And that he finally like delivered.
Yeah. So our shout out is a follow up with them getting what they wanted.
Yeah.
They deserve everything.
They really do.
They really do.
Yeah.
As for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, we haven't really seen a lot of them like together since last week. That being said, Travis Kelce is, like, attached to Taylor Swift for even when they're not together.
Yeah, it's true. His name, they're hand in hand. And that, again, going back, I saw so many Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift costumes. So
many. I saw a tweet that someone was like, she was like, I dressed up as Taylor Swift and my boyfriend dressed up as Travis Kelce like 2 years ago just for fun. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyways.
But they're just, when you hear one name, you hear the other.
You hear the other. So, on the football side of things, Travis Kelce, he's with the Chiefs. They lost to the Broncos, which is a big deal, you guys. So, that's the first time they've lost to the Broncos in 16 years. And
crazy.
What do the Broncos do afterwards?
They played Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, like blasted it in the stadium.
Blasted.
It was so funny. The pettiest thing ever, but I am here for it.
Like, trolling at its finest.
And, like, the Broncos aren't good this year, guys.
No.
And they haven't been good for a while. I have been
feeling like the Chiefs are actually not
as good as they
usually are, but I swear the refs love them.
Yeah.
I swear.
It's true. Even I think we both kind of listened to this podcast, but, like, Jason made a, like, dig at Travis and was like, oh, what do you know?
His brother on their podcast they do together.
New Heights, yeah. And he was like, oh, what do you know? The refs are, like, not calling flags on the Chiefs, huh? Like, that never happens, like, being totally sarcastic.
Call your brother out, Jason.
And even Travis, like, didn't deny it. So
yeah, well, what's he going to say?
Yeah,
true?
It's so funny. Anyway, so it was really bad.
That was really bad. That wasn't Travis Kelce likely not dancing to Taylor Swift in that moment. Yeah. However, he did go to the World Series and they did play another Taylor Swift song and he just like started dancing, which was fun. He got a lot of hate for going to the World Series though.
Yeah, he did.
You see this?
Yeah.
Because he like lost right after?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's my thing, because this happened with Zach Wilson as well. He had his bye week and he came back to Utah to like visit his family and to like see a girl. I don't know if they're like serious or not.
I think it's his girlfriend.
Is it his girlfriend? Yeah, because they were like, and he was getting torn apart. I'm like, guys,
I kind of feel like people don't realize, like, they're just like, you need to eat, breathe, sleep, live football. I'm like, they already do.
Yeah.
They do need time with, like, their family or time to do things they
and, like,
love.
recover and, like,
100%.
De-stress a little.
Otherwise, you're going to, like, burn yourself out and be even worse. So.
And what made me happy was Zach Wilson did win. I'm not the huge Zach Wilson fan, but, like, after seeing all the hate he got and for him to go out and he, like, pulled off a comeback. Oh, because against the Giants.
People were literally saying, you guys, they legit were like, people were like, is this a big deal? Because a lot of people were hating on him. And then some people in the comments were like, we'll see if this matters, if they win or not. And I'm like, there was my God.
Straight up articles written about him. Like, so many people just coming out openly, like, hating on him. I'm like, guys, give him a break. So going back to Travis, let him enjoy his life a little, okay?
That's what I think.
Yeah, if he lost, it's not all on Travis. He's not the only member of the team.
100%. He does not. He's not even the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, Travis is, like, a huge notable name and probably going to go down in the Hall of Fame. But, like, also, they're still humans. Yeah. Like, they're athletes, but they're still humans.
They need a breather.
So, I'm glad we're on the same page on that. We didn't talk about that beforehand.
No, we didn't.
But I do agree about that. That's...
Yeah.
Come on. Let's just be, like, somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other notable thing that we saw this weekend with them was Taylor Swift is now officially a billionaire.
Yes.
Which is wild.
Which is so wild and also so not shocking at the same time. There we go. Sarah was struggling with audio for a second. I was just trying
to make sure my computer wasn't falling asleep. It's been a rough day, guys.
I'm like, what you doing, Sarah?
I just meant to.
Yeah, I know.
It's right.
I honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if she was a billionaire before this. But
seriously.
Epic of her, though.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people that, again, are using this, I feel like, as her and Travis are fake. And I'm like, you can be in a real relationship and still reap the rewards.
Yeah, and I think she would have hit billionaire status without Travis in the picture.
100%.
So
she is bigger than Travis.
She doesn't. They don't really need each other. Maybe Travis.
They don't need each other.
He's now known in other circles that he wasn't known in, but like he was doing great beforehand.
Well, he didn't need her in the football world. Yeah. She didn't need him in the music world or entertainment world. Yeah. Like they were independently great of each other without each other. And so that's what makes them like a power couple. But anyways, I did forget about that. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. That was pretty crazy. Speaking of football
and successful women. Oh wait, are we?
Oh yeah, no. Let's do it. I love the successful women transition.
I'm sorry.
Because the first place I saw this was in the football sense of it. Yeah. But Kim Kardashian, personally, I'm not even a huge Kardashian fan, but this is pretty wild. So you guys know her brand Skims.
Yes. The underwear, like Spank kind of brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Personally, don't have any.
I do.
I was going to say, they actually look comfy.
Amazing.
Are they good?
They're expensive, and I was able to order one of her, like, Spank undershirt things off of when she was having a big sale, so I got it for, like, $30, which is cheap compared to what...
Super cheap.
She normally, and it's amazing. It's so comfortable. I do think you can get... I have found dupes on, like, Amazon, because I have a dupe that's, like, a longer set one, and... Honestly, it's just as comfortable.
Really?
But I was like, I wanted to try it out. There was a sale. It was just 100%. As expensive as the dupe. So I was like, might as well. I honestly really like it. I think they're very comfortable and like...
They look good.
And they look comfy. Man, they snatch you.
They do absolutely snatch you. Not that these leagues need to be snatched, but Skims has officially partnered with the NBA, WNBA, and USA Basketball.
And she, like, to launch her Skims men's underwear brand, she brought in, like, stars from, like, the big stars, attractive men from different sports.
She basically said, who are the hottest athletes I can get to be in these underwear?
Yeah.
And she got them.
She did, because it's Kim. And it was Nick Bosa from the 49ers. He's a D lineman. We've talked about him before. And... people are going crazy, I say, over Nick Bosa more than the others. But then there's, like, Neymar from the soccer world, the Brazilian soccer player. And then, I don't know how to say his first name, I'm not going to lie. But Gilgeous Alexander, the point guard from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He also is a model for them. And that ties in, like, the NBA side of it.
Totally.
But, like, what smart marketing, you know? Because... women aren't going to go out there and buy that stuff for their men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she knew it would attract and it would really stand out. Man, props to her.
Honestly, and I feel like I'm looking at it because, like, from a female perspective, every female in the world was, like, losing their mind over those photos, okay? I saw it on people's stories.
Crazy.
The amount of people...
The comments... unhinged.
I wish I remembered the comments. They were so wild though, you guys. Like they were unhinged.
Yeah.
So it's like really smart because females are like, oh my gosh, as if I didn't already want this brand.
Yeah.
Look at like these. I just look at this. Even the coolest men that I'm obsessed with are wearing it.
Yeah.
And I feel from like a male perspective, like it depends on the type of dude, right?
Yeah.
But the type of dude that might be on the fence about it is going to get it if someone
curiosity,
like
you know, if someone
Nick
gives
Bosa
it to him,
is wearing it, where it's like, oh, now this is like some athlete thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's
smart.
In my mind, it works.
It works. Yep.
And it's cool. Also, I feel like it for me. It makes a lot of sense for the WNBA. I'm like, that's so dope because. I feel like Skims' main audience right now is female. And so it's cool because it like branches out to the men with the other, like with basketball and whatever and these athletes.
Yeah.
But then I feel like for these women, it's like they've probably already known about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
So I think that's cool. And I think anytime like a female league gets a big deal, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So fun.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
Transition to something that's not as great, but equally as wild, I would say.
Oh, wild in a whole different sense.
Yeah.
Sarah, walk me through this.
Yeah, so I'll try to make it quick, but it's been developing over the past, like, month or so. You guys may have seen it, but University of Michigan has been under a lot of scrutiny because
their football program
has been under a lot of scrutiny because there's been alleged sign stealing.
Now, guys, remember, we talked about sign stealing with the Astros.
Yeah.
From the World Series, baseball. Here's the thing. Signs, it kind of blows my mind that we just like use this as a way of doing things.
Yeah.
But it's not just baseball that uses signs. In football, people will stand on the sidelines and they will do hand motions.
Yeah. To the team on the field to try to tell them what play to call.
Yeah.
It happens on the defense and the offensive side. I will preface this because I was a little confused. Sign stealing, like analyzing an opponent's sign, is illegal in college football, but how they did it is what's making it illegal. And I'll explain.
Wait, you just said it is illegal in college football.
No, it's legal. Sign stealing, like analyzing an opponent's signs, like when you get film from the team when prepping for a game against them, is legal. You're allowed to look.
It very much makes sense because you can look and be like, oh, when they do this specific route, they usually throw up this sign.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not anything groundbreaking.
It also sometimes changes. Like they will 100%. Change their signs.
My powder puff team got yelled at because it was very obvious what like sign we would do to blitz. It's not like you can't be aware of it, but it's how you go about it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's very specific in like footage you get from the team in preparation for a game against them. That's when it's legal.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you, Sarah. Okay.
So the University of Michigan, one of their football assistants, his name's Connor Stallions, was suspended by the school on October 20th after the NCAA opened an investigation against the football program amid the allegations that the team was having people attend games of future opponents and college football playoff contenders to gather info on their signs that they were using for the calls. So they're not getting footage. They're going and being sent to games to record and like do research outside of what they get from teams already to get info about their signs. That's where
it gets weird.
Yeah. And ESPN reported that Stallions bought tickets to 4 games of playoff contenders / future opponents. And they also said that the NCAA has been sent video evidence that shows a person sitting in seats in a stadium appearing to be taping the sideline with a phone.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there literally recording, trying to figure out what signs they're doing to determine what play they're calling.
Yeah. Along with this, I saw this on Barstool that like the main guy behind it, the one that got suspended.
Yeah.
There was like his Venmo, he would like pay people days before the game.
So that's it's like you transitioned perfectly into that. So basically, they looked up his Venmo and found a bunch of suspicious charges from this.
So obvious.
His Venmo's public, guys. This Stallions, the guy who's like kind of the ringleader of this, it's public. And so you can obviously find like
who he's Venmoing and what he's saying with it.
And apparently he's also, it seems he's a little unhinged because he apparently also wrote what he called the Michigan Manifesto that Barstool claimed was a 600-page plan that detailed how Stallions was going to take over the football program.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and that's absolute.
600 pages.
I'm sorry, that's psychotic.
He might have some issues.
There's a screw loose up there.
Yeah, so as of right now, it's still being investigated. He's suspended, but they're trying to look into if the head coach or anyone else had knowledge of this, because that could also lead to other problems. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's drama. It's messy.
And like anything called a manifesto, like can't be good.
No, Michigan Manifesto?
Yeah.
Pretty honestly, extremely dramatic, and the details of it just blow my mind. 600 pages, literally a public Venmo. If you're gonna write 600 pages, maybe put your Venmo on private.
There's obvious video like evidence that have been sent. People, different like sources have come out and like reported to different news outlets that they were one of the people that he sent money to go to these games. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So we'll keep you guys posted kind of just like how that develops. Yeah. But that is the story as of right now.
So if you didn't know, now you know. Michigan, man, they've got some issues.
Which brings me to our Halloween costumes. To bring it back up to a lighthearted note. There's a lot of fun Halloween costumes from around the sports world.
Yeah.
Annie Agar, I think that's how you say her last name. I follow her on Instagram. I love her. She's so funny. She's like a sports personality, but she's known for like roasting teams.
Yeah.
So she dressed up in like a burglar suit and put like Michigan logos on her. Like she was stealing signs. So I gotta say, for me, she's one of the winners of Halloween in the sports world.
So funny. And like, the NFL popped off, I would say. I didn't see a lot of stuff from other, like, leagues.
And maybe we will. Maybe by the time this comes out, there might be a couple more.
There might be more.
The NFL did pop off, though.
Yeah. So there was, like, the Jets, Quincy Williams, and the Falcons also had a player that dressed up like the Joker.
Joker is like, I feel like iconic in sports, especially,
which is so fun. I saw this all over the place, but 3 Jets players dressed up like anime characters from Naruto.
Which I think the reason it's all over the place is because men love this anime show, and I feel like men in sports particularly love this anime show.
Yeah, and like they like went all out. It was so funny,
so funny.
And then the Bears had a player that also wore literally a full Spider-Man costume, like tights.
You know I respect
and
that.
Everything. I know. That's why I had to add this one because I was like, Kiki's going to love this.
I respect that.
I think I sent it to you, but like as he was walking into the stadium, that's when like you get most of these videos. He like squatted down and like did the Spider-Man pose. Yeah.
I'm now sitting here laughing at myself for being like, it's just hard to dress up for Halloween when I like dress up for a Spider-Man movie release.
True.
Anyways,
priorities.
You know that I love that
and
one.
And not only that, but like he continued in warm-ups to wear the Spider-Man mask. Yes. And then also he had specially made like Spider-Man cleats that he wore for the game.
So sick. So I love that.
And then, you know, I don't even know who this character is, but he looked scary. The Browns also had a player that dressed up as, quote, the Creeper.
Myles Garrett. I don't watch scary things, so I don't know, but it looked scary.
Terrifying.
Looks scary.
And then our favorite man, I had to end with this
Love him.
Joe Burrow wore an alien mask and like some funky pants, and I thought it was funny. A lot of the posts were like, I knew this man was out of this world.
Yeah, I think that was literally the caption was like, we knew he wasn't of this world.
Yeah, he's not human.
We knew he wasn't human. Yeah. Which I just love.
Yeah.
So
funny.
Shout out to everyone who balled out on Halloween.
Yeah.
You kept it entertaining for the rest of us. I gotta be honest.
It's very true.
That's all our Halloween updates and all our other updates for you. So we're just going to finish with a quick little segment.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of things lately where people say this is girl math, this is boy math.
There's even animal math, like
there's animal math, cat math. And honestly, some of it's funny. Like every girl math thing I know is like girl math is saying something is free because you Venmo'd someone to pay them back and you had money in your Venmo already.
Or that's cash doesn't count as like money.
Yes.
So when you have cash, whatever you're getting is free.
I've seen a lot of dude ones that are like around sports betting and stuff, and I'm like, that's facts.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's a lot of different categories: girl math, boy math, animal math, this math. And Sarah and I thought, what is sports math?
Yeah.
And we came up with a few each. I went through mine because I wrote 4, but I feel like 2 of them really go together.
Yeah.
So I'll say 2 of them together. Okay. So it's kind of like 3. We just had to tell you what we consider
sports math.
Yeah. I'll go first.
Okay.
Sports math, this has to do with like the timing of sports.
Yeah.
Sports math is having football be 4 quarters, each 15 minutes, and it adds up to like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's sports math.
Yeah.
Right there. Also, along with that, soccer being 90 minutes, but the clock doesn't count down.
Yeah.
It counts up.
Yeah.
And then you hit 90 minutes and it keeps going.
Yeah.
Because there's stoppage time.
Yeah.
I feel like if you did not know soccer, you'd pop in and be like, but how much is left in the game?
Yeah. Why not?
What do you mean? I thought you said it was 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Now
why not just stop the clock?
Why not? Yeah. Why is it still going?
So true.
That is like that is sports math to me. Yeah. Adding that up and being so confused.
Yeah, very true. 100%. I was even going to say, like, I almost wrote this one down, but football, they changed their, like, clock rules and stuff.
Yes.
So it's supposed to speed up the game. But now, like, broadcast channels are, like, just adding more commercials. Yeah. So it ends up being the same amount of time as, like, the game was before because there's all these commercials in between. So it's, like, didn't really do anything.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked about this before, but I thought it was worth bringing up. Sports math is when you played 4 years of a high school varsity on a high school varsity team. So that automatically means that, like, you know more than the professionals.
Yeah.
You know?
That is so funny. That's such a good one.
You know, like, you can judge everything that they do and say that you can do it better just because you played high school football or soccer or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Sports math does not make you qualified in that way.
Yeah, the math's not mathing that way.
Math is not mathing. I said sports math is constantly doing internal math of what your team needs to win. It's like, okay, like in a football game, it's like, all right, well, we have a few minutes left, so we just have to get the ball back, and then we have to kick a field goal, but then our defense has to stop them, and then we need to get at least a touchdown. Yeah. That's sports math.
Yeah, when, like, there's, like, a minute left in the game, and the announcers are, like, going through the scenarios, it's like, so that sounds like a lot to do in a minute.
100%. It's like,
well, they need an onside kick, they need to do this and this, and it's like, in a minute?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like mathematic acrobatics.
Yeah.
That's sports 100%. Math.
Yeah. My next one is when a team, like, gets a blowout win or wins a championship, and that automatically means fans can riot and, like, rip down goalposts or, like, set fires and smash cars. So all of a sudden it's okay for all of that to happen. Yeah. Just because a team wins by a certain amount or, like, wins a big game. It happened with Kansas this weekend. The fans literally ripped down their goalpost and threw it into a lake.
Yeah, I saw that. So crazy.
How's that okay?
I don't know how
they get fined, but still, like, the fact that, like, people are just letting it happen is, like...
It's crazy that winning a big game supposedly adds up to that.
Yeah. Like, how do we go from, like, that to complete chaos, you know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, anyways, I was just like, this doesn't add up in my brain. That's not where I go. I don't get violent after winning something.
100%. My final one is that sports math is when losing by one hurts way more than just being blown out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When
you're so close. Yeah, and this one, like, does work for me.
Yeah, that hits.
When you're so close to winning and you don't, and you just sit there and you're in so much pain and you're like, I would have rather had never thought we had a chance. This hurts so bad. I would have rather been emotionally checked out.
Yeah. That's so true.
And by one, I mean, like, 1 touchdown, 1 point, whatever sport it's in.
Yeah, and like a close game, like, comes down to the final seconds of the game.
Yes.
Yeah. It's rough. I feel that one.
A few games come to mind that I won't mention.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Okay, my last one, hopefully it makes sense, but it's like, when people think, let's say for a pickup game, as example, when people think buying the most accessories that are the most expensive and wearing all of them at once equates to them being cool and actually performing better.
That adds up.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. People do think that adds up.
Like, when they wear all the sweatbands and all the compression
doesn't make you play better. Add all the things you want to.
Strategically, like, they wear, like, the one leg compression and, like, all the, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, it may help a little bit, but, like, especially if it's just a pickup game, bro, like,
it's not gonna do anything. Hate to break it to you. And that is sports math presented by Kiki and Sarah.
Yeah.
I had fun doing that. We debated if we were going to be able to do it, and we're like, we can do it. We just have to think about it.
Yeah. Rapid fire.
I'll have to be thinking of more sports math for future because I feel like there's so many.
So many scenarios, but this was what we could think of.
This is what we could think of. We hope you enjoyed our sports math, and we hope you had a happy Halloween.
Yeah.
But that's all we've got from Calling the Shots. And happy late Halloween. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.